Welcome to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast, where world-changing spiritual entrepreneurs come to deeply awaken the power within to bring forth their greatest purpose, to create massive awakened impact for millions of souls around the planet, while enjoying being in tune with all life and real wealth in all aspects of their lives. I'm your host, Daniel John Hanneman. And hello, everybody. So glad to be with you once again. We're going to be absolutely having an amazing time today. Remember to subscribe, by the way. Hey, if you really want to have some fun, hit subscribe. Just set your attention. Fun, fun, fun. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. All right. I'm grateful. I'm just so grateful that today we have an amazing guest. We're going to be talking about receiving your next level of receiving, right? So next level of receiving your intuitive business is amazing. Do you want to meditate and make money? Let it be simple. Let it be easy. Let it be fun. Go to yoursacredpurpose.com and get your free Meditate Make Money meditation today. Now, Stephanie Stanton, it's so glad to have you here today on the show.
Thank you so much, Daniel. I'm so happy to be here with you.
Awesome. Awesome. The high vibe chick. I'm just so honored to be with you. All right. We're high vibing. All right. Let me tell you about Stephanie. Stephanie Stanton is a visibility coach that helps intuitive women shine brighter in their businesses and attract premium soul sister clients. Through mindset coaching, branding, photography, and simplified marketing, she helps her high vibe clients step into next level of receiving. I'm all about that too. I'm so glad that you are doing what you do. Stephanie, I was looking at your website and everything, and it's clean. It's like simple. Everything about you is clean. It's simple. It's just like a feeling of an easy yes, like yes, and
oh, that's good to know.
I noticed too on your website you have like 30 pictures of yourself on the front cover because of being about visibility. It was loud and clear, be visible.
Yes, let them see you. Yes, I mean, there's so often I'm on my clients' websites and like the only picture of them is like 6 pages in and like half of them are cut off and I'm like, where are you? Let's shine. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. So, I mean, I talked about years ago at a summit called what is it? Raise your vibration, grow your healing business. So
love that.
it was incredible. It was the most successful summit I ever did. People got it. People understood even many, many years ago. They were onto this idea. It's about your vibe. That's what's so much more what it's about than anything else. And so I'm kind of wondering, like, a little bit. I like to get a little bit of the journey story. I mean, sometimes you come, as a scanner and intuitive person, I kind of feel like, well, you've probably had a journey or you've had some pretty dark times, and and if high vibe becomes more of a priority, right? So I love to hear about how you come, your journey that led you into being the high vibe chick.
I love that question, Daniel. Okay, so my journey. I have always been an uplifter. I kind of came into this world with that role of like, I'm going to be a cheerleader and I'm going to be an uplifter. And, we usually choose that pathway through not the easiest childhoods, but we are here to bring the light. I had a ability to find jobs that were really fun. So I never had that experience where like work was really terrible, right? Like, I mean, I've had jobs where you had to work hard, but like I always was able to find work that felt really, really playful and fun, right? I was a photographer. I was an adventure facilitator. I ran youth programs. I did trip leading abroad. I always like was able to um, do what you love kind of mentality, right? And I was seeing all these people around me becoming like super miserable with work. And I've always wanted to just be able to help women specifically, right? Because we have a lot of extra conditioning, right? To shine, to love themselves, to feel worthy, to be proud of themselves. And I found, I was always doing that through my photography. I love to help women like fall in love with themselves. And I did that through like high ropes and adventuring. But the purest way I found to date is really help women step into marketing. So I love helping entrepreneurial women face that fear of being seen and heard, especially in our power, right? Like that's a really scary thing for women, and do it in the funnest way possible, because we have this idea that self-promotion is overwhelming, complicated, hard, gross, salesy, disgusting, inauthentic. And so women, like, we rather than show up to those fears, like it can be easy for these entrepreneurial light worker women to quit, which is like, to feel overwhelmed and quit. And I think it's the most incredibly heartbreaking thing in the whole world to think of a woman not sharing her magic or giving her gifts because of something like marketing, right? It's like, that feels silly to me. So it became my mission to help women really be able to give their gifts, to shine brighter, and to connect with clients, because that ripple out effect, right? Of like, if I get clients and hands in the money of hearts, or in the clients and money in the hands of heart-centered women, like, I change the world. Like, that is such a beautiful ripple out effect. And yeah, I think there's nothing more like again, pure of a way of like helping women shine than through that, at least to date, what I've found to date. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Mm.
So I know it hasn't been always harps and rainbows though. So when I come
Right.
double down on that, so tell us a little bit about it. I mean, tell us about the challenges you as a woman has faced in this life, around showing up more visibly. Because I'm sure people would shut you down. Oh, you're a big natural cheerleader. Just, hey, shelve that for a while or whatever, right? So tell us about the challenges you've run into. So because I know others have experienced the same thing, and I think it has a lot to do with like how you've evolved with that
Right.
and the ability to receive that, right? So I'd love to hear about that.
I think that a lot of my issues, I would say, I'm air quoting those, have been around worthiness, like that sense of
Mhm.
worthiness. And I know the women that I tend to attract as clients also didn't have really positive role models of women saying like, I love myself and I'm worthy of money, and I can be big and impact the world. We didn't really see that growing up, but yet we had really deep callings to be light workers and help heal the world. So I knew if I was craving believing eyes, so
Mhm.
were they. The biggest like teachers of my life, of the dark nights of the soul, came in the form of being born in a family of substance abusers, right? Who,
Mhm.
by the grace of God, did find sobriety. But that sort of started me off on the path of, like, I worked in a substance abuse treatment center as a adventure-based counselor and coach for 10 plus years, because I wanted to help heal that piece of me and my family. Um, I was involved in many a codependent relationship with, men that I, felt really valuable with, because I felt like they needed me, and I had something to bring, until I again realized that I don't need to find my value in helping in that way, right? That I can be more impactful by role modeling that I am whole now. And that was, again, many relationships, and is still an ongoing process. But I think my biggest teachers have been, at least to finding my voice and allowing myself to shine, was childhood upbringing, um, intimate relationships, and work choices. So again, like becoming a coach and all those things were so influential to how I saw the world, and put me on my edge of discomfort of again, how willing are you to show up in your self-value? What are you willing to do about those things? Letting, jobs go that were really good jobs, but I felt called to something else. Um, Actually, I feel like the biggest pieces that have moved me forward were those moments in my life where I was asked to release something that was good to get to something great. That was really always very terrifying for me. And again, it came in the form of work and relationships. When I did, I rose, and that work can be really, really scary for women, or for everyone. We'll say men and women, but to let go of good to get to great. But there is something about that trusting and going with that flow, that we rise. We get to that next level version of ourselves.
Yeah, yeah, so many ways I could go with this next, but it's like one of the things that I see happening, like just happened recently with someone I was working with, she had the hardest time imagining herself like, becoming a six-figure business owner. But when we really connected with her soul's vision of the impact level of impact that she wants to bring, it was so huge and so big. She was giddy about being an eight-figure business. I mean, she's like, I'm going there, so it's like, because she's receiving like what's already there, like it's already in her, rather than like, I got to make it happen. Am I worthy? Blah 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 blah. Right. So like all those old programs, and it also confronts for this person, and then for, I would say overall for so many of us, including a sensitive men, it's like the idea of like, there's so many beliefs, right? But one of them would be is that we still have the slave programs. I was feeling that when you were talking, like the slave programs, like, hey, get your apron on, get back in the kitchen. That's where your place is. For women, have faced that. I mean, it's somewhat old, but I'm sure it happens still. It's just in more subtle ways maybe now. But like, hey, like this idea, there's and so many of us have these slave programs, especially women in a way have it more for sure in certain ways. I think the guys are like, work till you die and have a heart attack and provide as best you can in the meantime for your family. Like we all have our different ones, right? But for women, it's like there's so much around safety, the safety to receive, that it's okay to shine and sparkle with all your superpowers and gifts, and to be in the lead, to be in the spotlight, be visible, right? So there's so many. I mean, so what are some of the like top ones that you notice, like the big ones that women have?
I want to just agree with
Sure.
you that I feel really, bad for men in general with this like ingrained productivity. It doesn't matter if you're miserable, like do the work that you hate. Like I see that almost deeper in men than I'm like, and I work with women because I've always been about like female empowerment, and that's like, a deep calling of mine of like, sacred feminine rising, and let's get in balance. But I have to say, I have so much love and compassion for like the men out there who haven't, don't feel heard, and that like they're doing work that they absolutely are miserable in. I hope we all feel that sense of purpose. The things I see with women specifically, at least the women that I call to me as clients, is they are afraid of the visibility aspect because of, perceived judgment. I hear over and over again, like, but I'm friends with my old coworkers online, or people I went to high school with, and what will they think if I show up all woo woo now? And what I don't want to, they're just like afraid of that judgment, and then we all have this deep ingrained, like, we've been persecuted for thousands and thousands of years when we're women who are connected innately to our spiritual gifts and our power. Like that has not been okay. That's been really oppressed. So we're like on a DNA level, like afraid to be seen, because if we're seen, then we're vulnerable, right? And so getting women to a place of feeling really supported, loved, and held while being visible is really important to me. So I created like a lot of ways in my program where women feel, together being independently visible. So like we craft posts together. We give feedback to each other's posts. We engage each other. So there's a way of like, we're here with you. We got you. You're safe, and you can still show up consistently in your marketing on your own, but you're held. I also see, the guilt around receiving, the unworthiness piece, like we're very uncomfortable. We're taught to give, and those muscles for giving and caretaking are huge. And that's where we feel like that's okay. We're safe if we're like that. But that like muscle of receiving is like, like maybe I'll give myself a massage this month, or maybe like, like we let in a little bit, but we're super uncomfortable, like saying, I'm ready. I can have it all. I'm worthy of it all. I'll allow it in. Just that fear of, again, that brings power, right? Because money brings choice, power, contribution, like there's a lot in it. Money is really enmeshed with power. So if I'm seen in my power, then I'm vulnerable. Then I lose love and belonging. Then I'm open to judgment. And I've experienced it. Like I've shared in light worker groups and stuff around money and been totally shamed for it. Like you shouldn't be about the money and all this. And it's like, well, why not? Like prosperity is our birthright, in my opinion. So yeah, it can be scary to be seen and received for women. So it's like my goal is always to make them feel so supported, and that there's just a simple next step. Simple, like it doesn't have to be too big, that there's just a next right easygoing step to receiving more. And yeah, it makes the path a little easier.
Yeah, we can remember it's just one simple breath and moment at a time unfolding, where we take these little, really would amount to a series of countless little actions. They're really all little actions.
Right.
You look at it through a proper lens. Okay, I'm making a phone call. Doesn't matter who I'm calling. It's only a phone call. You don't care whatever, like, or making a Zoom call in these days, right? But whatever it is, it's like it's only one simple step. I mean, come on.
Laced with intention, right? Laced with
Yeah, yeah.
intention, and those little intentions, they stack up and they confirm a new identity over time. And
Right, exactly. I mean, one way I like to put it is like, I always tell people that, like, if whatever belief they have, I said, just feed the belief you really do have. Just feed that belief, keep giving that attention, and it'll get stronger and stronger and stronger. And then but the visibility thing is a big leap, right? So it's like, I'm confident in my work, right? I've heard this for years. I'm confident in my
right,
work, really good. But to put myself out there, forget
right.
about it. And I've talked for years too, because I work, all the people I work with are healers at some level, right? And I used to have an academy for invincible healers and work with all these healers. So again, we're always talking about the past life persecutions and everything. And what I love what you shared was that, and when you think about it, yeah, like mostly it's been women that were persecuted. Even sometimes the men maybe were women too in the past
Yeah,
life persecuted.
yeah, sure.
So, but it's like it was women, and I think that's something important I hadn't really focused that much on over the years. I was like, well, as a healer, you've been persecuted, but like when you think about it, like, yeah, it's women. You're persecuted where maybe in some cases the healer men weren't. Like, oh, well, you're doing God's work. You're supposed to be doing that. Oh, a woman, no, that evil woman with all that power, and what kind of dark magic is she doing? And like all these things are underneath the hood, so to speak. And it's like, and then trusting the power you have as women in so many different ways, right? I mean, sexual power. I mean, just being powerful, period. I mean, at so many levels. And allowing that, because that's all part of the visibility, right? Do I look good enough? Am I enough? Right? So there's a whole huge list of things that women deal with. um, can't get those pictures done until I lose another 20 pounds,
I
right?
literally just heard that yesterday, Daniel. Someone's like, I'm just waiting to get to my goal weight. I'm like, yeah, here we go. But I so agree. And I feel like there's this huge call for people, and I think everyone's really feeling this on a planet, to lean more into that feminine energy, right? Like I know what got me here. Like I was a lot of masculine energy. I was a hustler. I got shit done. Like I was like
Yeah.
like let's attack those problems. I can do it, go out and get it, make it happen. And really, like intuitively, it's just about like now it's just be still, receive,
Mhm.
relax, own your worthiness, like lean back, let it come, allow it in, receive, like really be in more that sensual,
Yeah.
maternal, loving, feminine energy. And it's off-putting for some of us who are conditioned, like, and especially like, women have only been in the workforce for how long? And we were conditioned to work like men, like,
Mhm.
and we've like repressed a lot of feminine, like the feminine intuition and way of being. And so to weave that back into work and feel comfortable with that again and safe with that, like
Mhm.
it's new territory. I know I have one client that's coming to mind right now, and she's been an executive coach for years. She's like can manage so many people. She's brilliant. But that idea of like, I'm doing enough. like I can just relax, I can receive, it can be easy, I don't have to work so hard. Like I can trust my intuition to bring in that next client and not make it happen, like, and just let it be less effort. And it's new territory for a lot of us. So but that really feels like the call. It's like, come back to that intuitive knowing, take care of yourself, prioritize your mood, allow yourself to receive and connect, right? So you can know what to do next, because it'll be given to you. Stop forcing it, stop trying so hard, stop trying to make it all happen. Not that there's not room for action, but let it come from aligned inspiration, right? Let it come from well-being and alignment. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, you know, again, even as a man, it's like, I, I have this inner pusher I used to have. It's just like, we gotta make this happen. We gotta do this next. And every once in a while, it still creeps up on me, right? I try to make a reappearance, but it doesn't last very long, because it's just like, no, no, that's not
Nope.
how we do things. No, we gotta let that go again. And it's just the deeper I go into feminine energy, which, again, we all have the feminine, masculine
Yeah.
energy, 1 billion%. So it's like, so the deeper I go into that, the more effortless and the easier everything is. I mean, it's just by magic, like everything's happening like a sense of by magic, it's just everything's just dropping in and happening. On one level now, the mind and maybe the pusher masculine will say, what a bunch of crap, that isn't gonna work, that's why nobody's making money, blah 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 blah. I can say for 100%, if you're in right alignment with all of it, the awakened male and the female, all of it, like it all just hums and purrs, and it's just perfect. And
Just falls into place. Yep.
yeah, so how do you help people with receiving their next level? Like, obviously, I would think that it's all part of receiving more of that feminine, maternal kind of mother, whatever kind of motherly energy, or what.
I got a little of all mother, maiden, crone in me going on all at once, but
Yeah. And I just want to mention that, I feel like that's how I am. I'm maternal. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, we got you held, and everything. I'm like, I mean, so how do you help people with that to receive? Yeah.
So my offering to the world to help women with self-promotion, it did not just appear overnight. It's been years of like helping women, like, what do you need? What's helping? Like really refining it. But where it is now, and again, it's always evolving, is I help women with 4 different things. One is identifying with their next level self, right? Their next level brand, if you say, like where are we going? What's that higher version? Because where we're identifying is where we act from, right? We make choices as who we believe we are. And if we can identify with that higher level version of ourselves, then we act more in accordance to it. So getting clear about her. And because of that, I actually named my program She Who Receives, because that was who I'm becoming, she who receives, right? First, it started out just high vibe chick. I just want to be a high vibe chick. And now this next level is like, oh, she who receives, right? With ease, with effortlessness, like it just flows. So that's the first thing I help women with. The second thing is amplifying their offering to the world. So really getting clear about what is it you're here to give, really building it from their heart. What's the problem they solve? Who are they selling it to? What does it look like? Getting really clear on that in a way that feels the most fun for them. Because if it's not fun, what's the point? The third way I help is to help them simplify their visibility. So we find the ways that feel most natural for them to be visible, the sort of right next step for them, create a really simple marketing plan for them. We, again, feeling very supported as they craft these things. They're getting a lot of help with their copy and with their visual images. I provide photos for my clients as well. So they're got beautiful, shiny photos. But I take the complicated overwhelm out of the visibility. And the last way is that receiving mindset, right? Really doing a lot of mindset coaching, energy clearing to help them release that old conditioning that says they're not worth it, that they can't have it, that it's not possible, that it's not working. All those heavy limiting beliefs that aren't serving anybody. Yeah.
That's great. That's great. I mean, that's what allows them to be able to receive what's already there, right?
Right.
It's already there. We need to raise the vibe. So when you're doing all this work, it's raising their vibration so they can receive, right? Is that right?
Yeah. And honestly, the biggest work is just to it's not working, but it's
Right.
just to come back to fun.
Right.
Like come back to fun. Like if it's not fun, it's not the way. We gotta like permission to just follow the fun. And I think that's really what my clients like the most about working with me is like we just get to play and it gets to be easy. And yeah.
So funny, like we're so brother and sister on that point, because that's my mantra for myself, and then I share it for my clients. Is like I say, let it be easy, let it be simple, let it be fun.
Yes.
Let it be easy, let it be simple, let it be fun, because it can be when you let it, right? And you believe it can't be, then it won't be, right? So, but if you keep aligning with that, that's the way you'll experience it. I'm blown away in my own life, like how easy it becomes. It's just like sometimes my mind doesn't almost believe it for a moment. I'm like, oh my God, this is so easy right now. Like so easy. I mean, how's that work? That doesn't, go with my old beliefs. Like, so it's like, oh yes, because they're not true, right? So
and it's funny because like sometimes literally the only thing I can see that's the difference between someone who's sort of making really good money and really who aren't connecting with clients is literally the fun element. Like they're trying to deliver a message to like they're forcing it or they're just, their energy is rigid or something. And it's like, oh my God, if you would just remember that this is a party and just let them come play with you and just smile more and laugh more and like have more fun. Like that's literally going to make you so much money. Like it's so funny to me. Yeah.
Yeah. So, one of the things that, if you can get past the visibility, right? So some people after, a certain amount of time of working with either one of us, right? Like I know this happens both ways. It's like, they're like, you know what? I'm so done with being invisible. That's it. I'm ready. I'm ready. But then when they go, there's still going to be a level of like, who me promote myself though? I mean, really, I'm supposed to go on and on about myself? Like it just feels so foreign. It feels so weird. And then maybe they grew up with narcissists, is their fathers or mothers or both, or the lovers, etc. And they've been all empathic and like, oh, it's about you promoting yourself and you getting ahead. And it's not about me. I'm in the back seat and I should just support you. And that's like the old paradigm, the old way of being. And it seems like it almost doesn't resonate for me to be, okay, I want to be visible, but really me promoting myself. So how do you help people with that? Because that is a big one, like the awkwardness of promoting oneself.
Yeah. I do think it's about aligning with the sort of mission, right? Like I feel like I have plugged into mentors and guides and coaches that really I can feel their mission is to like uplift a lot of people, right? And it's like it's like feeling like I'm not the only one with this calling. There's a lot of us out there like here chose to be here to uplift the world right now. And that, we are selling the space for people to heal and work on their dreams, right? So that isn't about us, but also we need to role model self-value so they can trust us, they can be confident that we can help them, right? And we're not hiding away the gifts. We have to show up, right? And say, I'm here, I do this thing, do you want it? Right? I'm here, I have this thing, do you want it? And we're so afraid of being perceived as it's all about me or I'm better than or narcissistic or any of these things that we aren't telling anyone, right, that we have this tremendous gift to give the world. And that again is heartbreaking to me because like the women that have come to me for help with marketing, like they are such tremendous channels, healers, coaches, like I can't even tell you, like I take their workshops, I learn from them. I'm like, you're amazing. I want to be able to do what you do.
Mhm.
And that if they didn't work through that, like there's so many people that aren't going to get helped. And yeah, so I think it's about like remembering that we need to get through this fear because there's people who need our magic. There's people who are waiting and looking for help with this. It's a real problem for them, you know, if they don't find you. And yeah, that it's not just about us. Yeah.
Right, right. Yeah, absolutely. And we find our we find our wholeness by letting go and just showing up to serve and using our highest gifts in the process. Absolutely. And our divine destiny unfolds from that deep richness that we're connecting with within that. And so that's so beautiful. And so what are
And I want
your
to add one really quick thing to that, that I want women to know that it doesn't take as long as we think it will to be unafraid of being visible. Like
Mhm,
I had a perception because I was really terrified. Like when I first started making videos, I was like
mhm.
in the corner and I was really quiet and I was whispering, and everyone who saw the videos that I would let see them would be like, keep working on it. Like they were, you know, I was terrified of it. I found so much I found that doing work on being seen and visibility online and doing videos expedited my self-love journey so quickly, because when you have to look at yourself and you have to see yourself with like compassion, and you know, you start saying, oh, that was kind of a funny joke I did, or oh, that was kind of cute, like it it, it moves quicker. The intention to show up, it moves quicker. And so many of my clients will say, like, I can't believe in 3 months I'm not afraid of doing lives anymore. I can't believe I thought I'd be afraid of that forever. Like it's something you can move through quickly. It's something that can shift quickly if you're ready to show up and shine. So yeah, I wanted to just say that.
Yeah, I mean, that's so true. We're, again, coming back to just men and women on this one, like number one fear in the world, right? Just speaking in public.
Hmm.
It's
Right.
the same thing with that one when we talk about like lives. Like for me, even though I had spoken like crazy, like countless, hundreds or whatever amount of webinars I had done, and just maybe thousands, but whatever, tons of webinars I had done, teleseminars, even speaking on stages, all those different things. When I came to doing a Facebook Live, it was like, I feel really awkward. This feels
Yeah.
really weird. I'm just talking to a screen.
Yeah.
Anybody in there? Knock, knock, knock. Because
Mhm.
I don't have that. It's just a different dynamic. So
Right.
if it's an encumbrance for me when I was first getting started, even though I was willing to jump in, I can imagine somebody's not done any of it, right? So it's like, but what I found is like, I could see how somebody could falsely conclude rapidly, this isn't for me.
Right.
I've already done 10 lives. I'm awkward every damn time.
Right.
Just not natural. It's not my thing. And I can tell you it's a bunch of crap, because after I did about, 40 or 50 lives or more, maybe many more than that, I finally have a degree of like, oh, it's natural now. Right. But it took probably over 100 lives to
Right.
really feel really natural.
And honestly, Dan,
Beginning
I
to
I
feel
still
spiritual.
get a little like
Yeah,
every
like in the
time when I
beginning, it
go to
felt
hit the
weird.
button. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
that's natural. But like
yeah.
luckily I let it go pretty quickly. I'm like, all right, I'm in it now. I'm in it now. But yeah.
Yeah, it's incredibly weird at first. So, but yeah, it's just is part of it is just trusting. And I think when people are willing to experience, yeah, like really being connected, like you said, like the way you're helping too, is like with connecting them with their mission, and they see how important it is, that some of the sense of how I feel about sharing it starts to diminish. It's like, well, I just need to share my mission, right?
Mm.
So that, I mean, that is so huge. That work that you help them with, is being able to help them identify that, really get energetically connected to it, I would imagine, and help them then see the simple, fun way to let it happen, right? So
Mm-hmm.
what are some of your top tips to make it simple, fun, and easy.
Let me think. I would say number one, plug into someone or some group of people who are sharing in that goal as well. Like plug into a mentor, a guide, a coach, or a group that are helping with that visibility piece. So you have that, you're working on it together, because another big flaw is we think we have to do it alone. We think we should be able to do it alone. We should be able to figure it all out. And we really, at least for me, I needed help with that. I needed support. I needed encouragement. I needed direction. I needed it to be made easier for me. Another way is to not try to do it all, right? Like you don't have to be on every platform. You don't have to learn all the things. We don't have to make it all happen. We just need one, maybe two if you want. Maybe just link them like I do Instagram, Facebook, and that's it, right? You just pick the platforms that are most enjoyable to you, and you kind of go deeper with them rather than very surface everywhere, right? And you keep it simple. You speak to one specific kind of client, one specific, I'll say woman, because I work with them, on one problem, and you offer one solution, right? Which is, your magic, and you keep it simple. You just keep consistently, which isn't all the time, showing up, because just like the moon has phases, it's not full every day. It goes, in and out, but it consistently shows up, right? So we want people to have a sustainable and simple way of communicating their magic with others, speaking to the people that they're here to help.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Great. Well, so I know that you have something you'd like to share with everybody to activate more receiving, and to help them to finally move things forward. So can you
Yeah,
share?
I was just going to offer a 30-minute kind of breakthrough call if anyone wants to feel out where there's been energy leaks in their business, where they could, focus on to up level, whether it's working with me or not. Absolutely no pressure. I'm just here to help you get clear about where you need to go and help you receive a little more, or a lot more.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
absolutely.
if they'd like a 30-minute call with me, they can just go to my website, which is highvibechick.com, and they can just shoot me an email through there.
Now, one of the things that we haven't got to yet, but it looks like, yeah, that's definitely where they start. But it looks like there's a uh, there seems to be a team that you have. Is that right? Do you have other people that
Yeah.
help? Yeah.
So COVID, one of the gifts of COVID was I had always had a dream of collaborating with other women. Even as a solopreneur, I was like, there's women I'm working with. I want this team of light workers. But COVID kind of, like, I don't know, it just really made it loud and clear. And I just realized, like, this is the year of collaboration. Like the women have always been gathering to heal. We've always been working together, raising children together, cooking together. Like, this is primal in us, and we're trying too hard to do this alone. So it was just the year of, like, bring them all in. So I literally invited the healers and light workers that I go to for my work, who have transformed my life, and built them into my coaching, because I felt like I wanted, this sounds silly, but I wanted to create like forced receiving for my client. I wanted to say, like, if you want to impact others, are you willing to receive at this level, to get these perspectives, to be held by all of these women? Like, I literally visualize it as like the woman goes into the temple, and she's born again. Like, she's released of conditioning that doesn't serve her. She's, just held and built up. So I work with a hypnotherapist, an angel healer, an Akashic reader who reads businesses, Akashic reading on your business, astrological person, a copy coach. Like, so these are women that, like, they have been my biggest supports in my business. And I was like, we're doing this now together. So I work on the visibility coaching and the branding coaching, and they hold space for these other areas where women need clarity, intuitive direction, right? And to just feel that unconditional loving energy. So in addition to my coaching and theirs, there's 2 groups a week that I offer, like a ridiculous amount of support by women. Like this lack of sisterhood and tribe that we're experiencing, like it needs to go. It's not working anymore.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm very proud of that this year, that I created an offering that um yeah, was just so much more expansive. Yeah.
Great, great. I mean that's something that's fairly unique. I mean, pretty doggone unique is to have that kind of support as part of what is available to people that work further with you. And so I just want to let people know. I mean, Stephanie's put something together where she's got many different legs of support and beings coming together to support you, because one of the things I've learned in the work that I do is the power of with community is that it drops people into a space, like you said, of unconditional love, safety, and that gives the green light that now it's safe, it's okay, I can do this, I can take these next steps. So that's so
Yes.
beautiful that you've
Yes.
created that, for the people you're working with. And I think it's kind of goes one together, like, and for yourself, right? That to let more of you to come out too, because you feel like you've got a team that's got your back. So it's kind of like your messaging to your tribe, like, let collaborate, bring it, bring your magnificent team together, whatever that may be for each person. I think
Right.
it's so important. And when we talk about receiving at your next level, you got to be willing to hire people. You got to be willing to work with others. And usually people think it's going to be a lack thing, like, oh, well, then we're going to have to cut up the pie, 10 ways or whatever. And the truth is like, if you're really aligned, it only magnify the impact and the abundance and everything if when done properly. So it's
Right.
really,
Well
really.
said.
So
Mhm.
Stephanie, this is the time of the show usually where I do a quick tuning in with my guests. So yeah, you ready to receive?
Yes.
Okay,
Hit
awesome. Okay,
it.
all right. Let's take a minute or two or
Mm.
so. All right, let me just tune in. Okay, so what comes through me, and so the first time I use this term, actually, even though it's a spiritual rock star, I get like you're the rock and rollin', like partly what you are is you're the rock and rollin'. What was it like? Well, the words that come to me now are like shamanic priest, priestess or something like that. Priestess.
Yep.
So I feel like part of your growing edge is actually trusting more of the magic that you bring from that realm. So I think a lot of the power and impact of your work comes from that realm, even more than maybe you're fully aware of. Okay, so like it's really strong, and so the more that's embraced, even the more magnified what the opportunities for what your work is, right? So I just noticed that. Let's see what else wants to be shared. Um, there are some aspects with energy suppressed. I'm seeing in lower chakras, like the sacral and power. So I always say, like, don't blame me. I just share what comes through. So obviously,
Nope. It's all welcome.
yeah. So part of it is like there's a lot of joy and love that wants to be shared, but some of it's like there is a little bit like you're still developing more of the like fully letting the safety of pleasure into your own life, and that could be on every level, physical, sexual, whatever, all of it, like letting more of that pleasure into your body and more into your full body. And so I'm noticing that. And then let's see what if I get one more thing. Well, I kind of it relates to the first thing I said. I do feel like more of your um, the suppressed or locked up energy with healing energy that you have to bring forth is also wanting to be brought forth as well. So I also feel like there's a huge opportunity there to bring more leadership, is a feeling that I get on it. And so that was the other thing I got. But yeah, I mean, you've got a quick intuition, and so you can dial in these plans and understandings about what's true for people, very quickly. It's easy for you, and I almost see it like you're painting a picture, like, oh, okay, so it's really cool, and I can see how you could do that with the branding work that you do for people. So it's really beautiful. So anyway, just share a couple of things,
Thank you. Appreciate that. I'm very aligned in what I'm working with. So thank you. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So everybody, if you want to check me out, you can go to yoursacredpurpose.com, and you can get your free make money meditation there. Opens up your energies, opens you to to receiving more the frequency that wants to come through, and lets it be simple, fun, and easy to receive more abundance and money and opportunities and all that good stuff. So, and there's also an energy scan consultation opportunity there as well. So you can go to yoursacredpurpose.com to check all that out, and to start wrapping it up then. Any last words for the audience today, Stephanie? Any last things you'd like to share with them?
I just love your let it be simple, let it be fun, let it be easy. I'm so with you on that.
Awesome. Okay.
Thank you so much for having me, Daniel. I appreciate your energy. I appreciate your fun.
Awesome. Thank you. And check out Stephanie. Take advantage of her generosity. Go to highvibechick.com. Start receiving today, for goodness sake. Receive more today. Receive more. Like when you say, oh, I can't receive anymore, receive more. Receive more anyway. She's right in a way. I don't like that word forced, but in a way, yeah, force yourself to receive more. In a way, let it in. So highvibechick.com. All right, Stephanie, it's been just such an honor, pleasure to have you on the show, and your awesomeness. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Daniel.
And thank you. And thank you so much to all our listeners, and keep on tuning in, and we'll keep on rocking it here at Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. Till the next time, everyone. Bye for now.
For listening to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. Stay tuned for our next upcoming new episodes each Wednesday and Saturday. Please be sure to subscribe, rate, and review to help us to serve you best. As a reminder, you can get your free Meditate and Make Money meditation at www.yoursacredpurpose.com to rock your sacred purpose. Goodbye for now, everybody.